There is absolutely nothing worse than dropping a few $100 on a used driver, taking it to the first tee, and realizing you just bought the exact wrong club for your swing.
Man, you said it. I actually remember a few years back buying this incredibly sleek, compact driver just because it looked amazing in the shop. Took it out on a Saturday morning with my buddies, and I literally spent the entire front nine slicing it straight into the parking lot. You're just standing there holding a beautiful piece of metal, completely miserable, wondering where your hard-earned money went.
I'm Jake, your everyday 15 handicapper, and I'm Mike, the data and specs guy. Today, we're settling a massive debate that happens every single day on the used rack. The Ping i25 versus the Ping G30. These are two older models that still show up in bags absolutely everywhere. Look, one is a low handicap player's absolute dream, while the other is essentially an oversized tank. But which one actually deserves a permanent spot in your bag? We're putting them in a direct head-to-head battle right here, right now, and I'm telling you up front, the winner of this one might actually shock you.
Welcome back to Golf Gear Showdown, where we put golf gear head-to-head in this explainer to help you pick the right winner for your game, your swing, and your wallet.
All right, let's look at the tail of the tape for today's matchup. We're judging this battle across 6 brutal rounds: distance, forgiveness, accuracy and control, feel and confidence, price and value, and finally, golf for fit. And hey, pay close attention when we hit round 3, guys. That's exactly where we reveal the surprising truth that most amateurs completely misunderstand about their own swing. You absolutely don't want to miss that.
Let's set this matchup up based on design intent. Both of these are legendary Ping drivers, sure, but they target totally different players. The i25 leans heavily toward the golfer who wants a cleaner, much more compact look at a dress. It's got a smaller footprint, designed specifically for aerodynamics, and a controlled, workable flight.
Right, and then you have the G30. Ping marketed this thing heavily toward average weekend warriors who just wanted the ball to go straight and high. Picture this scenario. You're standing in the pro shop, staring at the used rack. You see the slick, stealthy i25 and, well, your ego kicks in. You kind of wonder if you're finally good enough to hit a true player's club. Or you wonder if you should just swallow your pride, admit you need the forgiveness, and take the G30's help.
It's the classic ego versus reality debate, Jake. But the truth is, the i25 isn't quite as intensely punishing as people assume, and the G30 isn't nearly as incredibly chunky as it looks once you actually get used to it.
Okay, let's ring the bell and get this going. Round 1 is distance and performance. And right out of the gate, this battle is a lot tighter than most golfers think.
Looking closely at the spec sheet, the i25 features a low forward center of gravity that's specifically engineered for a penetrating, low-spin flight. What that translates to on the course is a ball that cuts right through a heavy headwind. If you bring the necessary swing speed, this club absolutely keeps up on total distance and will give you massive rollout on firm summer fairways.
Hold on a second, Mike. I get that you and your fast swing speed can enjoy that penetrating flight all day long, but common feedback suggests the average guy actually struggles to get that thing airborne. The G30 is built with a much higher MOI and features those aggressive crown turbulators. That tech actually helps get the ball up in the air quickly and easily. A low-spin head like the i25 just creates these low worm burners for a slower swing. Because of those real-world conditions on public courses, the G30 simply carries further for the everyday player.
Yeah, fair point, Jake. I really can't argue with the reality of the weekend tee sheet. For sheer playable distance for the masses, round 1 goes to the Ping G30.
Now we flip over to round 2, forgiveness. And listen up, because if you aren't hitting the dead center of the face every single time you swing, this is the round that will actually save your scorecard.
This is my wheelhouse, right here. Just look at the sheer size difference at address between these two. The G30's massive footprint pushes the weight so far back that it becomes incredibly stable. When I inevitably wipe one off the toe or chunk it slightly off the heel, the G30 fights desperately to keep that ball in the short grass.
Well, the i25 isn't terrible here, to be fair. It does have high-density tungsten weighting positioned low in the head for some added stability on those mishits.
Yeah, but mishits on the i25 punish you with a serious, undeniable distance drop. If you catch it on the toe with the i25, you might lose 20 or 30 yards and end up short in a fairway bunker. The G30 keeps your ball speed remarkably high, even when your swing completely falls apart. You might only lose 5 yards. I'm calling it right now. Round 2 is a total blowout. The winner here is the G30.
Moving into round 3, which is accuracy and control. Now, this is the category that reveals what almost every amateur completely misunderstands about their own game:
Based on design intent, the i25 is a shot shaper's absolute dream. You can work it left on a dog leg, you can work it right when you need to avoid water. If you actually have the hands to control the club face, it is highly predictable and precise.
Dude, everyday players do not shape shots on purpose. They accidentally slice them into the woods or hook them into the adjacent fairway. Most golfers report needing exactly one thing off the tee, and that's pure consistency. The G30 literally wants to go high and straight. It helps neutralize that nasty unwanted curve. Workability sounds super cool when you're talking in the grill room after the round, but consistency is what actually lowers your handicap.
I hear you, Jake, but taking away workability does alienate the better ball strikers who actively demand that control. It might alienate a few scratch golfers, Mike, but for the sheer volume of guys who desperately need help finding the short grass, I am handing round 3 to the G30. Split decision if you're a pro, but G30 wins for the rest of us.
Next up is round 4, feel and confidence. Let's talk about the psychological side of the tee box for a minute, because if you don't trust what you're holding, you're already hitting 3 off the tee before you even swing.
Standing over the G30 gives you that big frying pan confidence. It looks absolutely huge down by the ball, and when you hit it, it sounds like a cannon going off. That loud, hollow, metallic crack just makes you feel like you absolutely smashed it, even when you really didn't.
See, some guys absolutely hate that deafeningly loud sound, Jake. The i25 delivers a much more traditional, refined experience. It's solid, compact, and remarkably quiet at impact. It produces a soft thwack. It looks and feels like a proper player's club, not a training wheel.
Okay, it is completely subjective, Mike, but honestly, nothing beats the psychological edge of looking down at a club that looks mathematically impossible to miss with. Confidence translates to better swings. I am taking the reins on this one, and round 4 goes to the G30.
Round 5 is price and value. And I need you to pay very close attention here, because there's a specific smart shopper move on the used market that most guys completely miss.
Both of these are highly affordable used options right now. Prices always fluctuate, but you can generally find both of these sitting comfortably right under the $150 mark. So here's that smart shopper move. Because the G30 was wildly popular and remains highly sought after, it sometimes commands a slightly higher premium. That actually makes the i25 an absolute steal if you are a decent ball striker looking for premium, low-spin performance on a strict budget.
True, but think about the raw forgiveness you get per dollar with the G30. You're buying maximum launch help and fairway finding technology for a fraction of the cost of a brand new $600 driver.
Yeah, I have to agree there. For the everyday player, extracting that much tangible forgiveness out of a relatively small investment makes the G30 the winner for overall value.
We've finally reached round 6, which is best golfer fit. Get your screenshot ready because we are rolling out the exact cheat sheet that breaks down which club matches your specific swing profile.
Let's rapid fire through this demographic breakdown. Beginners, take the G30. Mid-handicappers, you also want the G30 for the easy launch.
High handicappers, definitely the G30. Seniors, G30 all day long. It gets the ball up so easily when your swing speed starts to drop.
What about fast swings? You want the i25 to control that high spin. Slicers, grab the G30, especially the SF Tech version if you fight a really nasty fade.
Distance seekers, go with the i25 if you actually have the speed to unlock it. Forgiveness seekers, it is the G30 without a doubt.
And for the budget buyers out there, just grab whichever one you find a better deal on, provided it actually fits your profile.
Before we give you the final verdict, I need to drop some critical insider advice. The single biggest buying mistake amateurs make is picking a driver based purely on the brand, year, or the head shape. Just because the G30 is newer or more forgiving doesn't guarantee it fixes your swing.
Man, I almost did exactly that last season. I bought a head just because I love the look at a dress, and I totally ignored what shaft was glued into the thing.
Right. The real secret to driver success is the shaft. Both of these heads perform beautifully. But if you buy a shaft that's too heavy, too light, or too stiff for your specific speed, you are literally throwing your money straight into the lake. Match the shaft to your swing first, then worry about the driver head. Let's do a fast, brutally honest summary of the pros and cons. No brand protection here whatsoever. The Ping i25 is highly workable, sports a gorgeous, clean look at a dress, and feels fantastic. But it will severely punish your bad swings and is incredibly tough to launch for slow speeders. On the other side, the Ping G30 is ridiculously forgiving, gets the ball airborne with zero effort, and is incredibly easy to hit straight. The downside? Well, it looks like a bulky toaster sitting behind the ball, and it sounds incredibly loud when you make contact.
Well, the time has come, the final knockout decision. By the end of this slide, you're going to know exactly which driver belongs in your bag for good.
Let's break down the final verdict across the board.
Best for beginners, mid-handicappers, high handicappers, and seniors, that's the G30. Best for raw distance and no budget limit, the i25 takes it. Best for pure forgiveness, G30. Best value on the used market, also the G30.
Which means for the everyday 15 handicapper who just wants to find the fairway, hit it high, and stop losing golf balls off the tee, the definitive overall winner is the Ping G30. If you are a low handicapper who actively works the ball, go hunt down an i25. But for the vast majority of amateur golfers out there, the G30 is simply the smarter investment. Buy the G30, get fit for the right shaft, and watch your scores drop.
Now it's your turn. Which one of these legendary drivers are you putting in the bag? Do me a favor, drop your handicap, your usual miss, and your pick right down in the comments below. But honestly, it makes you wonder, if a driver this old is still this forgiving and still performs this well, are we really buying actual innovation every single year? Are we just paying top dollar for fresh paint and a flashy new marketing campaign? Drop your thoughts on that below. And if you want to see how the G30 stacks up against the mighty TaylorMade M2, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and we'll see you in the next Golf Gear